Let's just say the ratings aren't the same with Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever now eliminated. Game 1 of the Aces Liberty matchup on Sunday drew an average of 929,000 viewers. It was down nearly 50% from last Sunday's Fever Sun contest. By the way, not only was viewership down, but attendance was as well.
Following Caitlin Clark's elimination from the playoffs, WNBA players are in tears. They think supporters are opposed to, because they didn't stay to watch their playoff games. The most recent semifinal statistics have been made public, and the WNBA does not appear to be doing well, since Caitlin was dismissed due to BS fouls. The WNBA has been unable to handle the situation. The WNBA's viewership has already decreased by half after Caitlin Clark's elimination, and as the playoffs progress, things will only grow worse.
Do you want me to just say I told you so, or are you willing to say, Stephen A., you did tell us? Really? Caitlin Clark is the golden...
What sport, after all, does this? Let their finest player be mistreated throughout the season. Don't let the Fevers have a playoff game at home, then allows their sport to perish and see a decline in viewership following each and every game? Teams only make it to the final in the WNBA, and after each game, fewer people show interest. Caitlin is currently traveling to Europe, ostensibly for a vacation, but she might potentially get seduced by a significant financial transfer to the EuroLeague.
There could be a team overseas who would love to snatch Caitlin Clark away from us and give her a crazy offer. I mean, Ice Cube was about to give her $5 million to play in less than 10 games in the Big.
After all, if Caitlin made a move, who would blame her? She would make 10 times as much as she does now and would truly receive proper treatment. She was even denied the chance to win Unanimous Rookie by the WNBA of the Year. In some way, one voter supported Angel Reese. Voters must now be exposed to the outside world.
Should have been unanimous.
Should have been. I agree.
It should have been unanimous. And one of the things that sticks with me is, well, she was the first rookie to get a triple.
The number of spectators is steadily declining, and the WNBA is finally witnessing the full impact of Caitlin Clark. Float, it's true that players think fans want to see Caitlin Clark exclusively. Fans didn't sit well with Aya Wilson, referring to her game as dull. More people than ever before have called my game boring this year. I think, okay, cool, whatever. Even after taking home the MVP award, Aya is obviously unhappy with the decline in viewership. Compared to Caitlin Clark, Aya has not experienced the impact of the WNBA at all.
A'ja Wilson, 28 years old, 1,000 points in the regular season. Why is that not the biggest story out at the moment? And why are we talking about Caitlin Clark?
Why exactly? Why when A'ja was releasing the shoe were we talking about Caitlin?
Beyond just the numbers, Caitlin Clark's absence from the WNBA playoffs has a significant impact. Of the audience, IT reveals a deeper problem within the league, the brittleness of its fan base, and the extent to which it had become dependent on a single player to sustain its fresh momentum. The lightning rod that attracted notice was Caitlin Clark. Not only to her own club, but to the entire league. When the Connecticut Sun defeated the Indiana Fever, Caitlin. As Clark's freshman season drew to a conclusion, there was a startling decline in viewing. However, beyond that, it brought to light an unsettling reality about the WNBA. The league finds it difficult to maintain its brightest star. Viewers.
Before the 2023 season, the WNBA had grown by 40% viewership from 2022 to 2023. But with Caitlin Clark's arrival, it's grown by 400% viewership. What that means is, if the WNBA were continued to grow at the rate it grew from 22 to 23, it would take until 2028 to do what Caitlin Clark did this.
After Clark was eliminated from the playoffs, viewership fell by more than half, a blatant sign that her presence was attracting a sizable share of the league's viewership. This cannot be disregarded or written off as an anomaly. Caitlin Clark's star power has been crucial to the WNBA's ability to attract fans, and without her, the league has been exposed for its failure to hold on to that audience.
Ever since, Angel Reese had that injury to me, and also coming off of Olympic break, Caitlin Clark separated herself. Yeah. She should have been unanimous. Now, to celebrate her, one thing that people forget is, as a rookie, she was the most blitzed player in the WNBA, and she still put up 19, 5, and 8 assists.
The WNBA needs to take note of this dramatic drop in viewership. the league has battled for years with. Low attendance and ratings, although Caitlin Clark's breakthrough season appeared to provide some hope. Record crowds regularly attended her games, and for a split second, it seemed as though the WNBA had finally rounded a corner. However, it's evident that the league's recent rise in popularity was not as solid as it appeared. The WNBA has struggled to maintain enthusiasm levels without Caitlin Clark in the playoffs. Elevated. Once Clark was gone, fans who had been watching her every step had little reason to stay. Although the other teams are still competitive, they don't have Clark's star power and appeal. Presented to the court, as a result, there has been a discernible decrease in the general excitement around the playoffs.
There was a Jordan effect on the NBA and the game of basketball. I would argue at one point early on there was a Steph Curry effect on the NBA and on basketball also. You bet your ass there is a Caitlin Clark effect on all of basketball, and especially on women's basketball.
The manner in which Caitlin Clark's playoff exit occurred is among its most concerning features. Clark was subjected to violent play and numerous fouls over the season, most of which went unpunished. Despite praising Clark's abilities, the WNBA did not provide her with the same level of protection as a player of her caliber deserves. This was more than a few missed calls. It was a persistent pattern of harsh play that required its physical toll on Clark and ultimately caused her team to lose.
We don't want fans that are going to degrade us and call us names. I mean, we already see what's happening in the world. Something needs to be done, whether it's, them checking their fans or this league checking.
An excellent illustration of this was the series against the Connecticut Sun. Clark received numerous hard fouls times throughout the series, yet it appeared that the officials were hesitant to sound the alarm, though the league didn't understand how crucial it was to keep its top player safe. Home viewers couldn't help but become irritated as Clark was bumped about the court, and the referees did little to stop it. This inability to keep Clark safe isn't merely an isolated error. It's a component of a bigger problem in the WNBA the league has battled for years with. Officiating, especially in the context of violent play. However, when the star of your league's comeback is being treated in this manner, it becomes a far more serious issue. The WNBA cannot afford to let. Given how important she is to the league's success, it is unacceptable for its brightest star to be defeated in this way.
CISM has been impacting the WNBA well before this year. This is not a new thing. Sure. This is, in that way, I do think Caitlin's being used as a pawn. Mm-hmm. Caitlin didn't bring CISM to the WNBA. This has been happening. And that, I think, is what's been such a shock for all of us.
In addition to being a personal victory, Caitlin Clark's breakout season was a huge chance for the WNBA to demonstrate its potential to a larger audience. Many people who had never seen her games before were drawn in from all around the nation. A previous WNBA game, the league had a chance to take advantage of the excitement surrounding Clark and create a devoted following base. However, the WNBA wasted that chance by not protecting her. Fans are fully aware of what transpired. Many of them have expressed their displeasure publicly after witnessing how Clark was handled on the court. Fans who believe that the WNBA let Clark down by letting her get fouled repeatedly have started posting comments on social media without appropriate officiating.
There are very, very few people, but there are some out there who resent the fact that this young white girl came out there and did her thing. Rookie of the year, 4th in the league for MVP voting, assist leader, one of the top leading scorers after the Olympic Games. She put on a show, validating all the attention she was receiving.
There may be long-term repercussions as a result of the growing perception that the league isn't doing enough to safeguard its players. For the devotion of fans, the WNBA is currently in a risky situation. In just one season, Caitlin Clark has already accomplished more for the league, more than many athletes do throughout their whole careers. However, if the league does nothing to safeguard her and it runs the risk of losing the very players who are contributing to the game's growth, like her. Winning is not the only goal here. The league's future is at stake.
Number of viewers for WNBA games that Caitlin Clark is not in is like 3 to 4 million. When she's in the game, when it's her game playing, it's like 17 million.
Yeah. Well, I also look at the attendance in the arena.
Yes.
It's 8 to 10,000 everywhere else. Caitlin Clark, 17, 18,000.
Fans were already irritated by Caitlin Clark's elimination from the playoffs, but there was soon another issue. Clark did not receive a unanimous award despite her record-breaking season and her indisputable impact on the expansion of the WNBA. Awards for Rookie of the Year, given her influence on the court and in terms of the audience. Despite Clark's outstanding performances throughout the season, one voter chose to support Angel Reese, a different player.
No matter if you are rooting against Caitlin Clark because you like another team, there's very few of them.
I'm excited
even if it's that.
I'm excited to see who it is.
This choice infuriated a lot of supporters. How is it possible for someone to vote for someone other than Caitlin Clark? She was the driving force behind the WNBA's success and had single-handedly raised the league's profile. Greater acceptance to IT felt like a slap in the face that she didn't win unanimous Rookie of the Year. Faced to Clark supporters as well, TO exacerbate the situation. The WNBA has declined to identify the lone voter, who, while remaining nameless, selected Reese over Clark. This lack of openness has just made people more irate. Supporters, many of whom believe that Clark is not receiving the credit she merits from the league.
I think that second half really set the tone for me, for her to be, and should have been, the unanimous Rookie of the Year.
And it wasn't just one triple-double. She had 2 on the season.
And this is why we would love for the WNBA to make voting not anonymous. Because if you were the person that had that one vote, you should just be able to stand on it, and we should know who.
There is more to the drama surrounding Caitlin Clark's unanimous rejection for Rookie of the Year. It might have a long-term impact on how fans view the WNBA. Clark had exerted every effort to improve the league. However, she was not given the unanimous acclaim she deserved when it came time to acknowledge her accomplishments. Many fans feel that the WNBA is not properly acknowledging this, which has left them with a bad taste in their mouths. What Clark has contributed to the league, the choice to give Angel Reese 1 vote instead of Clark, has spurred discussion on the voting process's credibility.
Who's the best player in the country?
To the media or me?
As you see it.
I feel like I'm the best player in the country.
The Rookie of the Year rejection is probably just another source of inspiration for Caitlin Clark. She has already demonstrated that she can rule the league on the court, and this insult will just make her future seasons even more intense. However, this dispute has created an issue for the WNBA that will be difficult to resolve.
My question is, who did it? Speak loud and clear, raise your hand, all that good stuff.
The WNBA is facing one of its biggest challenges as Caitlin Clark takes a 200-day hiatus from professional basketball. Difficulties yet, the league will need to find ways to maintain fan engagement over the coming months. Without its most prominent player on the court, while the WNBA will take a break, other basketball leagues will be performed. Considering how many people watch the WNBA already, this is not an easy feat. Decreased since Clark's elimination from the playoffs, the WNBA will need to figure out how to keep fans interested and involved during this 200-day hiatus. Inside the league, however, the WNBA is actually going to have a difficult time without Clark. She was the biggest attraction in the league, and the gap left by her absence will be